I wish I had a big suitcase I could just pull right up on this table and just put it down in the middle of the table and say, open it up. Let's go, guys. Unpack this. What do we got going on here?
So much. I mean, you go to Ian's comments and he says, all right, it's not contract related. He calls it an in-house issue. Then you hear Josh Allen speak and he says it's not football related and there's things he could have done better. And then Stefon Diggs went on Instagram last night and he posted, I'd just be letting people cap. If them lies help you sleep better, tell them, big dog. So this whole situation, we just know what it's not. And you just sit here and you wonder, I've been in locker rooms before, what is it? If it's not football related, it's not contract related, is there a relationship that has gone sour within the building? And for the Buffalo Bills, this is different because throughout the years, obviously they went through a ton of adversity last year as a team, and we saw them stick together. You didn't see any leaks, anything coming out where you felt like they were a team that were in turmoil. And now here, beginning of minicamp, Stefon Diggs was there, but then he isn't there, but then the agent says he is there, then his trainers chiming in on social media. So we have no idea what's going on with Stefon Diggs. So to Sean McDermott's point, it does sound very concerning. And I've seen on social media people are posting a video of Stefon Diggs yelling at Josh Allen on the sideline. Slow down. We know the guy's a passionate guy, the way he plays the game, the type of effort and passion that he plays with. I don't think that's a part of this. That level is what's gotten him to be one of the best receivers in the NFL. But there is something going on. And what could Josh Allen have done better during the season is what I really want to know, because he's a quarterback that when we watch him, he leaves it all out there on the field. So does everybody else on the team. So what are the mistakes that have been made that have caused Stefon not to want to show up for mandatory minicamp or show up and not show up? Is very concerning to me in Buffalo. Lenny, what do you think?
Like you said, it is an in-house thing they have going on, but people in the NFL love those guys together.
Yeah.
The handshakes, the touchdowns, and so on. But it is something I feel like that they can fix, and I hope they do, because those type of duos we need. You know what I mean? The passion that Stefon brings, and I know him personally, and what he brings to that team, his attitude and things like that. And I feel like he's great for that team, you know. So whatever they got going on in-house, hopefully it gets fixed, because I love watching those guys compete with each other and play.
Everybody wants to point to Diggs' passion.
Yeah.
Josh Allen says it over and over. He's a passionate competitor. He's a passionate competitor. Nobody doubts that. It's an odd thing. You're there, but you're not there on the first day of the offseason. Have you ever heard of something like this? Because it seems unusual.
I mean, I don't feel like it's not the first time it happens. It happens everywhere, you know?
Yeah.
And everyone all and have their own problems in their house. So, I mean, it's just up to them to fix it out before the season starts. And I just wish the best for both of them. If Stefon doesn't want to be there, then, you know, anybody take him. He knows that.
Yeah.
He has a great talent.
And yet, he's like completely untradeable because his contract. So you start to, what we do here? What's wrong with Steph? What's going on? You start to make educated guesses. It's not money. He makes a ton of money. It's not, he doesn't get the ball. He gets the ball a ton.
Yeah.
He just had 4 months off. It's really strange. You were upset about the playoff game. That's strange. It was a very strange game at the end of a very difficult season. Fine. 4 months. You're paid, you're respected, you're liked by your teammates, you get the ball, you're the centerpiece of the offense, you're a star, and then you show up and you're not there. You ever work with someone, this insufferable person who gets back from a vacation and says, I need a vacation from my vacation. Shut up! Is that what we're doing here with Diggs? I don't understand it at all. I texted someone. I know some people with Buffalo. I have sources. I said, what is going on? And this person who's there just said, something stinks. And I go, well, hold on. Let's break down Josh's answer, because he's saying something internal, not football. So my problem, too, is when you go to the Instagram story and he makes his statement about, I'm going to let everybody cap, that's fine. Those people you're talking about, your head coach is out there tap dancing, trying to talk about you, and he's pissed. Josh Allen's up there, Von's up there, just trying to give answers and dodge these questions, and like they're doing it on your behalf. So if you're not going to show up or not going to practice whatever, and you have some really strong conviction, fine, respect. You got to explain something, because your teammates and the rest of your coach and everybody is left to do it for you. It's a very awkward place that he's leaving the team in. He's a star receiver who's paid. What's up, Steph? It's time to get together.
Well, to play devil's advocate, Josh Allen's answer in particular felt overdone almost at times. It was like, I get it. You guys are good together. You're friends. You're friends off the field. You play great together. You produce fantastic football. But at times I was like, Josh, what's going on here? Like, are you overdoing it on the I'm obsessed with Stefon Diggs thing? Is there something there? I know the video from the playoff game is compelling, and whether or not that has to do with football or not football, these guys, to Kyle, your point, they've had 4 months to sit down and have a conversation. Josh, what are you trying to overcompensate for, I'm worried about at times? Like, is Stefon not out there because things were not resolved in the last 4 months between those two in particular? There's Stefon Diggs being passionate on the sideline, and then there's Stefon Diggs talking to Josh Allen passionately on the sideline. I specifically am curious about, I know it's his quarterback and he's going to be the one that's, but specifically those two, because a lot has gone down in the offseason in Buffalo, and I'm just curious if that adoration that we're hearing from Josh Allen is him just standing up there publicly and being like, I got you, but Diggs is like, why didn't you come and talk to me the last 4 months about it? It just feels like a strange public love fest that maybe should have happened in the last 4 months. He goes hard.
The relationship is interesting with them. I could pull up 50 different clips of them on the sideline, hugging, high-fiving, celebrating, big time. I think they're really passionate about each other football-wise. Off the field, I'm not totally sure. Leonard, if you're in the Bills locker room and you're a running back or you're whoever, how do you handle this? Do you reach out to Steph? Like, how would you do? Because this is disruptive of the whole thing. And this is a team, like to Jason's point, they don't deal with stuff like this.
No.
They really don't have this big-time off-the-field drama. What they deal with is tragedy and things they've had to go through, not the personnel stuff. What would you do if you were a Bills teammate?
Just for me, I think a team meeting, at the end of the day, we've heard the coach's side, Josh's side, but Steph has yet to say his side.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to sit up here and jump and say, Steph is doing this, Steph is doing that. I just want to know how he feels, what he has going on, because there's always two sides of the story. And you said strange game. I mean, he didn't get the ball as much. he's the top guy, so I feel away. When me and Brady played and I wasn't getting the ball, I just let him know. Even though that my team, we had Hall of Famers everywhere. Mike, Gronk, Chris, AB. We had so many guys, but on that team it's different. You know what I mean? He gets most of all the targets. He's the #1 guy. So offense is different than defense. Yep. It's way different than defense. So when you're used to getting the ball, he wants the ball. And he felt like in the big moments he didn't get the ball to help his team, to get over that hump, that bump, whatever it is. And I mean, I understand him.
And I feel as though, as teammates, you sometimes have a better understanding of what's going on within the locker room. To this point, if it's not football related, it's not contract related, I said it earlier, it's possible that it's a relationship within the building that maybe needs some fixing.
Take a shot at it. What does that mean? What relationship? What do you even, just guess?
I don't want to guess people, but let's say Brian Daboll leaves, Ken Dorsey takes over. Is there a relationship between his offensive coordinator? I'm just using Dorsey as an example, but a lot of times within a locker room, no different than within a family, you can understand if I'm a kid, mom and dad aren't getting along, and I may leave out and go to school. I'm not going to talk about that at school, but at the same time, you know that when stuff like this goes on, you're in your group chats, maybe the DBs are in the group chat like, dang, it's all coming out now with stuff that might have transpired. So I don't think players within the locker room are sitting there like, man, where's Steph at? I wonder what's going on with him. It's just like, dang, I guess he finally got fed up to the point where he can't go through it anymore. So that would be my take on it, that the locker room's not sitting there like, man, do we reach out to Steph? I think that is times when you have a coach up there and say, hey, this guy's not here. He's going through some things personally within his own household, within his own life, and we'll see him when he gets here. That's not what McDermott's saying. It's almost like, I don't know where the hell he's at, and I'm concerned. So I'm very, very interested to see how all this unfolds.